Is ESPN on ABC, brought to you in part by Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina, home to the #1 team in the country. College football on ESPN presented by PlayStation 5. As you're watching the ACC on ESPN. The #1 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, they have to play without their star quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, against a much-improved, offensive-minded Boston College Eagles squad. The #1 NFL prospect tested positive for COVID. For the latest on how this impacts Clemson, here's Holly Rowe.
Thank you, Joe. Well, as you know, Trevor Lawrence tested positive for COVID. He did practice with this team on Wednesday, though, while he was positive. So there is good news today. Dabo Swinney has told me that there are no additional positives after their testing protocols yesterday. Guys, Trevor Lawrence is recovering well at home, and Dabo told me that he did speak to the team last night via Zoom to give them encouragement. They hope to play well without him today.
All right, Holly, Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy with you up in the booth. Trevor obviously watching at home. We wish him well, Trevor. We hope you're feeling much better. Greg, he's the leader of this team. He's the face of the sport. Where does this leave Clemson?
In the hands of a very talented true freshman in DJ Uiagalelei. He is remarkably gifted thrower of the football. Probably the strongest arm that Dabo Swinney's had here at Clemson. It's just, is he going to be as accurate as what we've seen from Trevor Lawrence over the last few years? Tess, obviously big shoes to fill for a young, talented thrower.
A big man, too. The freshman's 250 pounds. He gets his unexpected chance to shine. 6-0 Tigers, 4-2 Eagles. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
A sunny day here at Clemson. 50-degree weather for Clemson and BC. When BC left Boston yesterday, it was snowing. Clemson won the toss. They elect to defer. So BC to receive. Phil Jurkovec will be out there first, the big 6'5" quarterback. DJ Uiagalelei, freshman, in for Trevor Lawrence today. We'll see him in moments. Travis Levy on the return as he finds a seam out past the 25-yard line. All right, Greg, this isn't the BC that we've seen for many years. This isn't pound the ball with the ground game. Jurkovec gives them something different.
And he's a lot like Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's from Pittsburgh, and that's his favorite player, and he plays like him. He moves around in the pocket really well. We mentioned how big Uiagalelei is. Jurkovec's no slouch. He's 6'5", 230. So two guys both that are very mobile and physically athletic, and yet big in stature and difficult to bring down.
And look at those stats on Jurkovec. He is top 10 in the country in passing yards, in completions, in touchdown passes. Travis Levy gets the start at running back, and they will pass right away. And downfield they go to start the game, and it's Zay Flowers, one of the most explosive receivers in the ACC.
And a beautiful throw by Jurkovec to get things underway. He recognizes the speedy Flowers there on that slot go route. Plenty of room, slightly underthrown, working against Nolan Turner. So difficult to cover the underthrown deep ball. That's a great explosive play. Got to have a lot of those if you're BC, because this Clemson defense is pretty dang solid down in, down out.
Play action, Jurkovec again, and gets it complete again to C.J. Lewis, who has become one of the breakout offensive weapons.
Like what they're doing so far, just getting Jurkovec comfortable in the game, taking their shot early to their most explosive weapon at wide receiver, and then a little play action there to get Lewis involved. Two guys have gotten started, now expecting to get it to Hunter Long, their talented tight end, to get him going as well.
Jurkovec again. And this time he's going to tuck and run. He's very capable as a runner as he slides down at about the 11-yard line. Holly, Clemson's missing some players defensively, aren't they?
Yes, they're without their quarterback on offense, but they're also without their quarterback on defense, James Skalski. He's going to miss the next couple of games after a minor surgery on his groin. So that brings in Jake Venables, number 15. If the name sounds familiar, his dad is the defensive coordinator. How cool is this for Clemson? He's playing for his dad today, but I know that's not on his mind. He's just trying to fill in well for Skalski. They're also without Tyler Davis on the defensive line and Mike Jones at linebacker.
Right now, this BC offense is coming right down the field with ease. 3 plays, 63 yards. Jurkovic, pressure, goes to the end zone, and that ball, Zay Flowers catches for a touchdown. What an athletic effort and body and ball control by Zay Flowers. Eagles score first.
Just an amazing start for Boston College. Working against press coverage, Kendrick, and man-to-man, working to the back left pylon. Ball's thrown, contested catch, and Flowers goes up to reel it in. What a start for the Eagles offense.
A flawless opening drive by this much different, and I mean much different looking BC team. All those years of the big bodies and the big backs and pounding the ball, and now Jurkovic and Flowers, and Coach Jeff Hafley is liking what he sees offensively this year.
And I love the movement by Jurkovic. You're going to see presence right up the middle. I mean, it's a good pass rush and a little bit of a bust on the left side of the offensive line, but Jurkovic, great poise, moves just ever so slightly to his right, throws the ball up to the back pylon, knowing he's got a guy to give him an opportunity. Just exceptionally well done on the opening drive by the talented sophomore quarterback.
Jurkovic 3 for 3, 59 yards. The touchdown also had a 15-yard run on that opening drive. DJ Uiagalelei. Clemson, the first time they're trailing all season long, and now the true freshman steps in for Trevor Lawrence as Danny Longman kicks away. And it'll go out of bounds. That'll bring out the flag. You know, it's interesting this week having all the conversations with everybody about the situation here at Clemson.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team, number 47. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
And Greg, when it comes to Uiagalelei, and you ask, well, what's he all about? You hear the same quote, whether it was Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, or Coach Sweeney, they talk about arm talent. And they say, hey, and you see that quote in the bottom there, there were times during camp when DJ made Trevor look normal.
That's saying something.
Etienne, he gets just a couple of yards that time. Of course, Travis Etienne can help a freshman quarterback. He comes in today just 43 yards away from passing Ted Brown as the all-time leader in ACC rushing yards. We'll be monitoring that. He's 41 yards away right now. 2nd and 8. Uiagalelei quickly gets it out for a completion to Rogers.
I like what we're seeing right now from Amari Rogers, getting him started here in this game. He's been such a bright spot for this team. Last year, he never really looked like himself, Joe. He just looked a little slow, a little hesitant. Remember, he had the knee injury in spring football, so he's never fully healthy in 2019. Fast forward to this year, though, he's explosive, he's decisive, has been their most reliable weapon at wide receiver.
3rd down and 1. Etienne go ahead and pick up that first down for Clemson. Amari Rogers, you mentioned the torn ACL. That was spring of 2019, and then played with that knee brace and now leads the nation in yards after catch.
He's going to need to be big today, too, for a true freshman quarterback. He's going to need a lot of yards after catch. He's going to have some easier completions.
Etienne met and taken down right near midfield. That was Isaiah McDuffie. Isaiah McDuffie, who leads the country in solo tackles, number 3 in the nation in total tackles.
That's a guy to keep an eye on. Both him and his partner in crime, number 14, Max Richardson, two of the most productive linebackers. Huge task, obviously, with ETN and all the things Clemson does offensively.
Uiagalelei on 2nd and 8. On the run, gets it complete to Powell. And Powell is going to be right at that line to gain. And that is a Clemson first down.
Like so far what we're seeing from offensive coordinator Tony Elliott. Couple easy completions. This one, you get Uiagalelei moving a little bit to his left, get those shoulders around, easy hitch completion to get him comfortable within this plan.
Gonna pull it, and was looking for the quick slant that time, trying to find Spector, and a flag is down at the end of that play. Jason Maitre had coverage on Brandon Spector. Coach Sweeney, 12th year as the full-time
Pass interference, defense. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
McDuffie in the middle of that defense for the Eagles. He's a true freshman quarterback now sensing pressure off the edge. They come after him and smartly gets it to ETN, and off to the end zone goes Travis Etienne. And with that touchdown, he breaks the NCAA record for most games with a touchdown. 42 games for ETN. 72nd career touchdown now. Potter puts it through. Well, we got ourselves an early offensive game here between the Eagles and the Tigers. Uiagalelei stepping in for Trevor Lawrence brings his team right down the field. A touchdown pass from DJ to ETN. Tied up here. DJ Uiagalelei with the first touchdown pass of his career as he talks things over with Dabo Swinney. How about the other day, Dabo said, hey, I went to go tell him Trevor tested positive for COVID. You're going to be the starter. He was in the film room all by himself. That's where you want to see your true freshman quarterback, isn't it, Greg?
No doubt about it. He studied up. Let's take a better look at that last touchdown from the AT&T 5G Skycam. You see the pressure off the right-hand side, which forces Isaiah McDuffie. He's responsible for ETN, and when ETN exits the pocket and leaves, McDuffie falls asleep. It's a great job by Uiagalelei, getting the ball out quick, hot route, very poised and under control, and taking advantage of the blown coverage in the back end. Just exceptional start for both quarterbacks, Jurkovec and Uiagalelei.
Jurkovec back out there now. David Bailey as the lone back for the Eagles. Zay Flowers in motion. Jurkovec pressure, and he goes downfield and connects again. Jalen Gale inside the 30. He was a huge recruit for Ohio State a few years ago, was a top 30 player in the country, and he also transferred to BC.
Man, it's a great job off play action. You see the free safety get back to the middle of the field. He kind of falls asleep a little bit and chases this over route. Watch, he's going to cover up Hunter Long, who's working across the field, which allows plenty of space to the left-hand side for Jalen Gill to work, and a perfect throw away from the defender by Jurkovec. Man, just coming out aggressive, gas pedal pressed.
They got one of Notre Dame's biggest recruits at quarterback. They got one of Ohio State's big recruits at receiver, and this goes nowhere. Bailey couldn't find anything against the inside of that Clemson defense with Jake Venables playing middle linebacker for Skalski.
It's obviously very difficult to run on this Clemson defense. If you look at the Boston College Eagles, the offensive line early in the year really wasn't playing very well, especially given their talent level. The right side has really come on. So They'll stress it, but it looks like it's a throw-first situation for them, at least early on, based on what their plan's doing.
Pressure off the edge on 2nd and 11. Jurkovec going to the end zone again, well overthrown, looking for his favorite target, Flowers. Remember, tonight, we've got a great one in the Big Ten. Justin Fields, number 3, Ohio State against Sean Clifford and 18th ranked Penn State. That is tonight, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on ABC. Start your day with number 1, Clemson. Finish your night with Ohio State and Penn State. 3rd down and 11 for Jurkovec and the Eagles. 3-man rush, drop 8, Jurkovec. He's going to make a man miss and get the first down. He may be big, but he's a bit elusive as well. Good legs out of Jurkovec. First down, Boston College.
How about Jurkovec? A little lateral agility. Boom! Press the R1 button on the PlayStation remote right there. Making 2 guys miss, and they actually crash into each other. Just a great run there by the quarterback and converting 3rd and long.
It's incredible how much he means to this offense, isn't it? Every which way, top 10 in so many offensive categories. First down, they drop 8 again. Jurkovec extends the play to the end zone. And that is incomplete. Galloway stretched for it, but was out of bounds. Phil Jurkovec represents 79% of Boston College's offensive yardage this season. Greg, in the last decade and a half, that's the highest percentage by any ACC player. 79% of their yards come from number 5.
And it's really amazing when you think about the great quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson's the guy I thought for sure would account for that much production for Louisville a few years back. But Jurkovec's been fantastic.
2nd and 10. Has time. Goes to the other side. There was some contact there and the flag comes in. He went to Galloway on the near side, goes to Galloway on the far side. Sheridan Jones had coverage.
Pass interference, defense, number 26. Foul curl in the end zone. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
That is Marcus Woods, who is the referee for this ACC officiating crew.
Yeah, that was a great route. If you look to the left side of your screen, little stutter go. Burned the defender right out of his shoes. The ball was just really late. Jurkovec's got to get that ball up and down and throw it to the back left pylon. It's a touchdown. It's underthrown, however. And they get that contact there in the back of the end zone, set up 1st and goal from the 2. I just love the aggressiveness so far that we've seen from Boston College's offense.
13 personnel in for Coach Hafley's team. Him, Long, Witter, Dalton, 3 tight ends. Bailey's the running back. 1st and goal, touchdown, BC. Clemson never trailed all season coming into this game, and now twice BC has been out in front already here in this first quarter.
Man, the left side just collapses this whole angle. And you're going to see Bailey one-on-one. One-on-one there at the 2nd level. And all he has to do is just crash through one defender for the touchdown.
And Boumeri puts it through. And this BC offense, 135 total yards in 2 drives against Clemson. They are on top of number 1 by a touchdown early on.
College football on ABC is presented by PlayStation 5. Play has no limits. And in part by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Together tastes better.
This BC program has been putting guys into the NFL consistently, including the big back who's now with the Packers, A.J. Dillon, and one of his best buddies in the world. Just scored a 2-yard touchdown to take the lead against number 1 Clemson, David Bailey. They refer to themselves as the Buffalo Boys, A.J. Dillon and David Bailey. So BC Now with a couple touchdowns here in this first quarter, you think about Clemson in recent history. They don't give up first quarter points like this. Dixon from the 6-yard line. As the coverage gets him down to 22. Let's go to Kevin in the studio. Thank you, Kevin. Always good to hear Kevin, Mark, and Booger take care of us all day long. Uiagalelei, the true freshman from St. John Bosco High School in California, same high school that produced Josh Rosen. Etienne. He is met after a gain of just about a yard and a half.
DJ with the flick of a wrist. Cool 55, 60 yards, no problem. He hugs his mom, got to do that for good luck. And then just 3 throws into his first start of his career, he finds Etienne for a touchdown. Uiagalelei is clearly very in control right now.
Second down, swings it to Etienne. Look at how dangerous he is when he gets into open space. Holly?
Well, guys, Trevor Lawrence is the heart and soul of this team, along with Travis Etienne, and they were without their soul today. So offensive coordinator Tony Elliott challenged Travis Etienne. He said, you have to be the heart. You have to assert yourself in the huddles and be more of a leader. The running backs take pride that they are the heartbeat of this team, and we can see Travis Etienne already stepping up big time today.
Absolutely, over 6,000 all-purpose yards now in his career. They go with the jet motion with Spector. And good pursuit by that defensive front of the Eagles. He only gets a half a yard there.
And Etienne, the last time Trevor Lawrence was unavailable was against Syracuse a couple years back. Remember, Trevor Lawrence's first start got knocked out of that game. So you saw exactly what he did, very productive. But after Trevor went down, he took over the game. Him and Chase Bryce, and obviously ultimately they beat Syracuse that day. But Travis Etienne, I still think, doesn't get the credit he deserves as one of America's best.
Uiagalelei on 2nd and 9 gets it to Amari Rogers, and he will have it out at the 39. So it'll be 3rd down from there. Brandon Sebastian there defensively.
It'll be interesting to see the cat and mouse game between Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, and Tem Lukabu, the defensive coordinator for Boston College. Will he get up in the face? Looks like he's going to get up in the face of these wide receivers, challenge the underneath throws, and force the young freshman to try to throw it over their head.
He's a perfect 6 of 6 passing. 3rd and 3. Uiagalelei, they pick up the pressure. 7 of 7, another first down. Davis Allen with the reception for Clemson.
I think at some point, obviously, anytime you're playing against Clemson, you're concerned about giving up the big play. As we look at Tem Lukabu, excellent defensive coordinator, up-and-coming star in the profession, but he's at some point going to have to, I think, get to the line of scrimmage, challenge. I know they want to keep it in front of him, but they're giving up easy completions.
First down run here as Dixon is taken down by McDuffie and Brandon Barlow. Remember the confidence for the true freshman. He walked in with a gold chain that said Big Cinco, big number 5, the 250-pound true freshman. This was earlier today.
I love that.
Big Cinco with the 5 there.
That is awesome.
Found out Thursday he'd be making the first start of his college career after the news went out that Trevor Lawrence tested positive. 2nd and 9, sprint right, quick arm to the outside, but there defensively was Elijah Jones to be there on top of Cornell Powell. His dad is such a character, DJ's dad, Big Dave. He was a former celebrity bodyguard and traveled the world with famous musicians. There's Big Dave looking at his son making his first college start.
Yeah, he is enormous. Enormous Big Dave, and he's taught his son well, man. He has been fun to watch here in the first start of his career.
Another 3rd down. 8 of 8 passing for DJ. Backtracking and taken down that time. Max Roberts, the grad student, with the sack of Uiagalelei. Tem Lukabu dials it up defensively, and they get the big play. A loss of 13.
Yeah, and you're just going to see right here working against Jackson Carman, one of the best left tackles in America, and he just gets pushed right back. Long arm. Great rush there, as he's able to get home and drop the quarterback, the big quarterback. Excellent job by Roberts.
So now on to punt is Will Spires, who had an eventful first half last week, had a punt blocked, also had a fake. Jalen Gill back deep for Boston College. Gill on the return from the 21, and it's a good return. Jalen Gill out past the 45. Flag is down as Gill is off to the races. We'll check on the flag as Gill housed it. It's all the way back at the 39-yard line. You get a glimpse of the pure speed of Jalen Gill. And they're walking this back.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding. Return team. Number 17. That penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Return team. Number 7. That penalty will be enforced. 10 yards. First down. Boston College. Timeout.
You'll see right in the middle. Big number 17. There you see right there, number 44 for Clemson. I think it was 44. You saw that right shoulder kind of dip. So a huge play wiped off the board. But Boston College cooking with gas on offense as they come back with a 7-point lead.
Dabo's trying to fire up his guys. Clemson, 14 points already given up to BC, the most they've given up in 3 years. They've only given up 7 first-quarter points on the season. Pressure on Jurkovic as he goes down hard. It was Sanders flying in on Big Phil. Was able to get it away to the near side. Landon Sanders on a safety blitz.
He obviously, too, pretty fortunate there that Jurkovic didn't have an intentional grounding. I mean, there was no receiver in the area. The ball never got back. The officials are talking about it right now, almost like, do we need to throw a flag here?
And you hear the crowd reacting.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 5. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
Yeah, and right there, the ball never crossed the line of scrimmage. Jurkovic, I don't think he got out of the pocket either. It was a good call by the official, taking the time, having the communication, and finally a good positive play there from Clemson's defense. They hadn't really done anything well up until that point when Sanders forced the intentional grounding.
Spot foul, a loss of 12. It was a good call by their defensive coordinator, Brent Venables. They need to disrupt the rhythm of this BC passing attack. 19,000 fans here today at Memorial Stadium. 2nd and 22. Jurkovic, all kinds of time, and he goes to the near side to C.J. Lewis. Big-bodied receiver from Hamden, Connecticut. Played his prep ball at Cheshire Academy. 6'3", about 220-pounder.
Good job up front. Only a 3-man rush from Clemson. Drop 8. Understanding where the holes are and the voids are in the zone. A little late getting to it as he scanned the field. That's called a sprinkler read when you go all the way from left to right. Got there a little late. Sets up a much more manageable 3rd and medium.
17-yard reception makes for a 3rd and 5 now. Jurkovic on 3rd and 5, incomplete. The freshman Brzee may have gotten a piece of that. Amari Rogers will be back deep. Grant Carlson, a grad student from Missouri City, Texas, on to punt for the Eagles. There's Rogers. Rogers trying to get to the outside, but he is ridden down by big Marcus Valdez, who was there on punt coverage. Let's go to the studio and Kevin. (14-7) here, number one trailing at home in the first quarter.
So far from Clemson offensively, very conservative plan, trying to get DJ Uiagalelei very comfortable, trying to sprinkle in some runs. At some point, they're going to push the ball down the field, though.
There's ETN. Nothing happening there as he is driven back by Max Richardson. Keys to the game brought to you by Jared.
And you look at it, for Clemson's offense, just make DJ comfortable. And you got to maximize the yards after catch. Quick, easy throws and get it in those playmakers' hands on the perimeter. And Boston College on defense, play fast, but don't fly around out of control. They're so good after the catch. You don't want to, obviously, give any free yards by missing tackles and try to confuse DJ by mixing your coverages and pre-snap looks.
Here is Uiagalelei on 2nd and 8. That is low and to the outside. He's looking for E.J. Williams, true freshman, looking for true freshman. Uiagalelei, who, Dabo says of his personality, just got a sweet spirit about him, very eager, so coachable. And he gets his chance to step up with Trevor Lawrence out after the COVID positive test. Trevor is watching from his off-campus housing. He was able to talk to his teammates last night and encourage them. 3rd down and 8. DJ, as he looks to the top of the screen to Powell, and with that catch, a Clemson first down.
Nice route there by Powell, getting big for his quarterback. Little curl route, walling off the defender who's right on his back, and converting on a nice catch and throw.
Here's ETN trying to set a record today, and he shaves a little more off. A flag is down. ETN trying to become the all-time leading rusher in ACC history today.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 62 and number 56. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That's Cade Stewart, the center, Will Putnam, the right guard, combining.
Yeah, just watch the right side of this offensive line. See as the right guard goes low, Putnam, as Stewart's trying to engage and jump leverage. And a good call by the official. You're engaged. And the center was in that regard. And the guard goes low. It's going to be a call every single time, trying to protect those defenders' legs. So a good call there. And unfortunate for Clemson just not being able to pass off that game as they were working to the second level.
So a 1st and 25 after that penalty. Uiagalelei. Miscommunication. Is that a live ball? They're talking it over as to where he threw it and where the ball went to, and they're saying incomplete.
Ruling on the field is a backward pass that went out of bounds. 2nd down.
Oh, they're saying it's a backward pass that went out of bounds. So they are marking the ball at the 17-yard line.
You're going to see, I don't agree with this call at all. Uiagalelei is throwing it obviously right there, and the ball lands at the 20, but he's throwing it from the 18-yard line. I mean, that ball is clearly traveling forward. The ball lands at the 20 and throws it from the 18.
The pass is under further review.
Yeah, that's a little hard to digest, based both on the live look and then you see the replay, but the play is under review, so they should be able to clean this up. Well, 14-7 game, a great start by the BC offense against this Clemson team that has won 35 straight regular season games. Let's bring in our rules expert, the 3-time Super Bowl official, John Perry. John, what do you see here?
Joe, you guys got it. It's the point of release to where the ball hits the turf, forward pass. They'll add some time based on it being an incomplete forward pass.
John, I know you're always up on everything that's going on in officiating. What have you made about the way that COVID and the pandemic has affected college officials so far this season?
It's huge. You know, the cohesiveness for the guys and the gals officiating these games on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they're never together live. It's all Zoom meetings. They all travel independently. They all eat independently. They're never together except for game day. So the third team on the field, it's a problem. They're getting through it. I commend the NCAA and the NFL as far as their testing. Very few positives and a few false positives.
Good to have John Perry with us, our rules expert.
Well, like anything, I mean, all the officials that we see every Saturday, they're getting work in the spring too. They miss spring practice also. Right. I mean, they didn't have spring games. They didn't have all the time that we spend in the summer to really work together and go to conferences and all that stuff. So it's been a challenge, and obviously there have been a lot of mistakes made that have changed outcomes of the games, really scattered throughout the country.
After further review, the ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass, second down at the 26-yard line.
Now they got that correct, as they'll put the ball at the 26-yard line with the incomplete pass. Glad you're with us here. The Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week, part of college football on ESPN, presented by PlayStation 5. Joe Tessitore up in the booth with Greg McElroy. The great Holly Rowe down on the sideline here at Death Valley, where BC has a touchdown lead over the #1 team in the country. 2nd and 25. Uiagalelei on the slant gets it complete to E.J. Williams. E.J. Williams went to the same high school as Justin Ross, the receiver.
Very excited about that young man. I think he has a very bright future. Not knowing a ton about him, not knowing his backstory, but putting on the film, and it's like, man, he's an effortless runner. So once Ross hopefully gets healthy as soon as humanly possible, not this year naturally, but when he's back out there, if it is here in a Clemson uniform, they're going to be a dynamic duo on either side of the field.
Ross had spine surgery. Hope the best for his football future. 3rd and 16. Uiagalelei is 10 of 12 for 92 yards, had the touchdown pass to Etienne. Can he convert here? Lots of time on 3rd and 16 and gets it complete to Rogers. What a laser throw by Uiagalelei.
Big Dave loving what he sees. A great throw from his son.
And now some tempo. And Etienne pushing that pile to the 40-yard line.
That throw on 3rd down was just ridiculous. I mean, we talked about how strong his arm is. Working across, I mean, just an absolute seed between two defenders, and an excellent catch by Rogers working across the middle of the field.
Five-yard penalty, first down.
See that pure arm talent from DJ. He's a tremendous baseball player. Throws in the mid-90s. A lot of folks say a potential high draft pick in MLB. About a month ago he said, hey listen, I most likely won't be playing baseball at Clemson or beyond. But that was a part of his recruitment, the ability to play both sports. Right now he is the starting quarterback for #1 Clemson, as Trevor Lawrence is out after testing positive for COVID. Etienne trying to get to the edge. He does so before he is ridden down by Maitre. Final seconds here of the first quarter. A wild one. #1 is trailing Boston College. 14-7 Eagles. We'll be back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
A beautiful moment to end the first quarter, as you saw the entire Clemson team arm in arm, the entire Boston College arm in arm, as they celebrate a moment of unity. It is Unity Week this week in the ACC, and I love seeing these words painted on the Clemson field. Unity, equality. These young people continue to drive the conversation of being together and making a better world.
DJ downfield to the end zone. Incomplete, but the flag does come in. You know, it's unfortunate that Trevor Lawrence isn't here to be a part of Unity League because he was such a leader during such crucial times.
Down.
They're going to tag Brandon Sebastian with that penalty, as Powell was the intended receiver.
Yeah, almost made the play, but a good call there as Sebastian clearly didn't turn around, try to make a play on the football, just played the receiver and had some contact. Good call by the official.
Uyunglele in the shotgun, as he will give it to Etienne, and Etienne able to find just a little bit inside the 11-yard line. So here we are, starting a second quarter, and the #1 team in the country trails by 7. Dabo Swinney not used to seeing that. First 6 games, first quarter points allowed, 1 touchdown. Eagles put up 14. Jeff Hafley's team.
Yeah, they came out very aggressive. First 2 drives, just like clockwork, right down the field. Clemson defense settled in, though, as the quarter went along, so we'll see what we get from them moving forward.
Allen goes to the top of the formation, gets it to Etienne inside the 10, and he took a big hit. Both men giving a bit there as Deion Jones, the safety for the Eagles, came up to play Etienne.
How about this hit? I mean, wow. Etienne is so explosive. Woo! I mean, that's one you're going to feel tomorrow. Ain't no doubt about that. I'm not sure who won that one either, Tess. Couple big collisions in this game so far.
First and goal. Etienne trying to go up over the pile that time, but his legs were taken out by Isaiah McDuffie and Barlow. Isaiah McDuffie, we told you, leads the country in solo tackles. The last BC player to lead the nation in tackles, Luke Kuechly, all the way back in 2011. Went on to do a little something special in the NFL, didn't he?
Pretty decent player. Hall of Famer. Yeah. Played like 8 years, Hall of Famer. He is one of my favorite players ever to watch, no doubt.
Second and goal. Etienne trying to reach for that goal line. He's going to be just short as BC pulls him back. Once again, McDuffie and the rest of that front involved. Third and goal coming. There is Tem Lukabu, defensive coordinator for the Eagles.
Surprised you don't see in a situation like this, just knowing how big Uyunglele is. I mean, this would be a spot. Quarterback power, man, 250. I mean, right downhill or quarterback sneak. I understand that Etienne is a trustworthy option, but man, with a big quarterback, you'd think they'd give it to him in short yardage situations.
A couple defensive linemen coming in on offense for Clemson as lead blockers now. Etienne, ball's loose, ball is loose, BC has it, it's Brandon Sebastian, a 99-yard glory run for Sebastian. Can you believe what's happening here in Death Valley, folks? Scoop, score, and Eagles soaring. Silence here in Death Valley.
It's all about the exchange. If you look at Etienne, he just kind of grabbed the ball. I don't know if he thought he was not getting it or what. He didn't come in with a normal pocket at all. Etienne almost just tried to grab the ball from Uyunglele. That was really unusual there in the backfield. Costly mistake.
Bad exchange. Heads up play. Brandon Sebastian. The fumble return score. Officially a 97-yard fumble return touchdown. Tem Lukabu. His defense strikes.
They want to go back. I mean, look at the exchange. Look at Etienne right there. Doesn't expect the ball to be handed to him. He just tries to grab it out of Uyunglele's hands, and it just results in a massive swing there in favor of Boston College.
Lynn J. Dixon on the return now for the Tigers. And he struggles to make his way to the 20-yard line. Kevin, what's up? Thank you. Busy day throughout college football. This is the score that's getting everybody's attention right now. ETN goes ahead for about 3.5 yards. Moments ago, it was West Haven, Connecticut's Brandon Sebastian with the 97-yard touchdown on the fumble return. We've told a story before of how he honors his late brother Jordan, who was a beloved former player and a young coach, a high school coach back home in Connecticut, who lost a battle with colon cancer. We'll see Brandon constantly tap a bracelet that he wears after every big play. 2nd and 6 to the outside, and Rogers is driven back that time by Josh DeBerry.
I'm loving right now what I'm seeing from Boston College as far as tackling is concerned. They haven't been there all the time. As you can see, Clemson in a hole, an unfamiliar hole, frankly. Trailing for the first time by this margin quite a while.
6 years.
Amazing.
Since they've been down 14 at this point. 3rd down and 3. Uyunglele, plenty of time to pick an option, and he goes downfield to Etienne. Dangerous every which way is Travis Etienne. Remember, he had a 35-yard touchdown reception earlier today.
And this is a matchup that Boston College is going to have to figure out, because Etienne is contributing so well in the passing game already. How about tracking it down? That's an area of his game that has improved by leaps and bounds these last couple of years. Now, he's just as capable as a receiver as he is a runner between the tackles.
Uyunglele. There's that quick strike, big arm as always as he finds Powell. Boy, he guns it in there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he can sling it. That ball. Some guys, it just looks different coming out of their hands. You know, people have asked me, who does he remind you of? I'll tell you who he reminds me of is Jamarcus Russell throwing the ball. And people say, well, you can't, Jamarcus Russell. But no, Jamarcus Russell is the most naturally gifted thrower I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. The guy was ridiculous throwing the football. It didn't work out in the league, but man, as a thrower, unbelievable. And Uyunglele has some of that.
Dixon can't make it back to the line of scrimmage. Good fill that time by everybody up front, including Max Richardson, who's number 4 in the country in total tackles. Holly.
Well, Travis Etienne's been the best wide receiver on the field so far today. It wasn't always that way. His freshman year, he came in and had just 5 receptions. People were teasing him. His coaches would give him grief and tell him he had stone hands, and he really took that personal. He would work after practice, take extra time, and he told me, I'm going to become a good pass catcher out of the backfield. He went from 5 to 17 his next year to 37 last year. Now look at this. This has been a work in progress. Good for him.
No doubt, Holly. He is the total package
Stone
now.
hands. I just can't get over that.
2nd and 10. And DJ's well off the mark that time. It would be 3rd down. He was looking for E.J. Williams.
I might be laughing about stone hands for about 3 or 4 more plays. It's just so funny. It's such a good thought too, Holly, like you referenced. I mean, he's really worked at and has grown into just a beautifully well-rounded player as Travis Etienne. I'm so happy for him and his progression.
3rd down and 10 now. Uyunglele, 15 of 18, 173 yards. Can he get a 1st down here? Thought about running, now being tracked down as he gets rid of it to the near side to Powell, and he'll be about 3 yards away from that line to gain.
That was very dangerous there by Uyunglele. Right on the cusp of field goal range. Holding it, nothing there. He escapes, barely escapes, making a field goal a little bit more manageable, but you got to be really mindful in that scenario, the young quarterback, of not taking a sack. So I would imagine that'll be the topic. Hey, ball's got to come out quickly when you're in fringe field goal range.
So it'll be B.T. Potter with the 33-yard attempt. He's 8 of 12 on the year. And he cuts into this Boston College lead. #1 team in the country, trailing by 11 at home to BC.
College football presented by PlayStation 5 on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow.
Family members and pets of our crew members dressed for Halloween. Great scenes here. I saw a great shot of little Vince McElroy dressed as a bumblebee earlier today.
One of 3 costume changes, I think, might be in the hopper for Big Vince today.
And that is the graveyard next door to Memorial Stadium, Death Valley. As #1 is trailing by 11 at home. Well, this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, Tom Brady and Randy Moss, they go one-on-one, a sit-down conversation. Tua is making his NFL debut. And we can invite you to kick off your Week 8 Sunday NFL Countdown at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. "35 straight regular season wins for Clemson. Last loss was October 2017. Here's this BC team with Phil Jurkovec at quarterback, already with 21 points on the board as Travis Levy goes ahead. BC opened things up with Zay Flowers, dangerous receiver.
Yeah, really good plan so far from Boston College. Coming out, just throwing it down in, down out. Really haven't tried to do anything, obviously, on the ground. And then, of course, the big fumble by Etienne at the goal line, which led to the 97-yard fumble return by Sebastian. Boston College has been up to the task.
2nd and 7, pressure on Jurkovec, and they're going to waive this. That was Venables coming in on him.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Reference this Boston College plan so far. If you look at Etienne. Phil Jurkovec, no surprise, is their leading rusher at this point. They only handed the ball off to the running backs 3 times combined between Levy and Bailey. One, of course, for Bailey on the touchdown, but Jurkovec's cooled off just a little bit after a very hot start. So you need to get him back in the game throwing the football.
He started 4 of 4 since then, 1 of 4 passing. And that was off the mark as he was going on the shallow cross to Zay Flowers. So it'll be 3rd and 12.
Last time there was a 3rd and long. Jurkovec opted to take it himself, made a guy miss. So you would imagine that Clemson, they're going to be really mindful of that quarterback run. So if they rush the passer, they can't over-rush the passer and allow for lanes for him to escape and expect one of those 2 linebackers there in the middle of the field to keep their eyes on big number 5 in a quarterback spy situation.
3rd down and 12. Jurkovec looking for an option downfield, and he finds Hunter Long. Hunter Long, who coming into this game leads all tight ends in the country in total catches.
Great job here because you're going to see leakage and a little loop twist up front. Boston College offensive line doesn't pick it up, but Jurkovec hangs in there, staring down the barrel of a loaded gun. Somehow finds a way to get it to his talented tight end. Great conversion by the Boston College offense.
That was 13 yards on what was 3rd and 12. And now David Bailey takes it ahead to the 40-yard line. Holly.
Well, Phil Jurkovec was a highly recruited kid, went to Notre Dame, and he said it was my dream school. It broke my heart to leave there, but it just didn't get on the field. So he entered the transfer portal, and that very day, Jeff Hafley got onto campus as the new Boston College head coach. 4 days later, he was there on an official visit. Jeff Hafley's the personal one who went into the airport to pick him up, didn't leave his side. The next Monday, he was in class.
That is typical Jeff Hafley, as you see the young freshman, Brian Brzee, as he came across and made contact with Alec Lindstrom.
Offside. Defense, number 11, made contact. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And you wonder, I mean, for Jurkovic, obviously Notre Dame, I think it was probably a pretty easy recruitment for Hafley, though, guys. I mean, all you had to do is say, look, we wear the same helmets, same uniform, similar color. I mean, so, no, but in all seriousness, it was a massive coup for this Boston College program to get Jurkovic, a guy with 3 years of eligibility remaining and a ton of talent.
2nd and 1 after the penalty, and Bailey will go ahead to move the chains. It was interesting. We spent some time with Jurkovic about a month ago. We were doing that North Carolina game on ABC. He said, listen, I went to Notre Dame because of the brand. But when he paused and thought about where he wanted his future, he said, I came to BC because of the type of people. And I think Hafley's story speaks to that with Coach Jeff Hafley.
Yep.
And the way he put out the welcome mat right away.
Yeah, and I think obviously Frank Signetti, the offensive coordinator, has done a really nice job of putting together this multiple offense with a pass-first approach.
Here's Levy. Levy's got some room past midfield and then dives ahead to the Clemson 45-yard line. So the BC offense is on the move again. 8 yards for Travis Levy.
They found their running backs too. So and this is a spot here where if I'm Boston College, we've been moving the ball pretty well offensively, like my wide receivers, love my tight end. I'm going to go heavy play action, throw it down the field. It's 2nd and short. Likely going to be able to convert 3rd and 2 if you play the percentages. So I would take a big shot right here. See if you can't catch that Clemson defense sleeping and throw one over their head.
2nd and 2, A-gap pressure being shown by Venables. They run right into it. Doesn't go anywhere. Loses a yard. So it'll be 3rd down. Muscole with the tackle. College football rankings are brought to you by PlayStation. Here we are with the #1 team in the country, trailing by 11. You get to see Alabama tonight on ESPN. What a game we've got for you right here on ABC tonight with Ohio State at Penn State.
Penn State, of course, took the L last week, but they outgained Indiana 2-1. I mean,
listen, we talked about that game.
I think Penn State.
Indiana needed about 10 miracles to happen at the end there. That's a good Penn State team. Don't be fooled by that upset. Could be interesting against the Buckeyes tonight. Crowd wants a stop on 3rd and 3. Jurkovic on 3rd down being chased back to his own 40. Flag is down as he goes downfield. That ball's intercepted by Nolan Turner. He was on his back and somehow came up with it.
There are fouls by both teams on the play. Holding, offense, number 23. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 7. The foul's offset. 3rd down.
Wow. Wipes it all out. The roughing the passer. Looked like it was Muscole who was coming in on Jurkovic. Watch the end of this play.
Man, it's so bang. I know you're trying to protect quarterbacks. That's a big point of emphasis. But, man, it didn't look like it was too late as Muscole was almost there by the time Jurkovic released it.
So a 2nd chance for the Eagles on 3rd and 3. This time they're going to run it, and they're going to get it with Travis Levy. So what a huge swing.
Just massive right there from the officials. Talked just a second ago on 2nd and 2, take a shot. Well, now you got 1st and 10 plus territory. This is college football shot down 101. Like, this is where you usually are going to see a heavy play action, throw the ball down the field. So let's see if Boston College tries to get aggressive here against this Clemson defense.
It's over 3.5 minutes to the half. Bailey, as he surges ahead to the 40-yard line. Reminder, Week 8 Monday Night Football. Tom Brady and the Bucs, Daniel Jones and the Giants, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN. And coverage will begin on Monday Night Countdown at 6. Going to take a break here. A timeout by Clemson. Eagles with the ball, up by 11 on #1.
Don't forget to vote on Election Day, November 3rd. For more information, visit IamAvoter.com.
Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Holly Rowe here as the #1 team in the country trails by 11 at home. Travis Etienne lost a fumble that was returned 97 yards by BC's Brandon Sebastian. He's lost a fumble in 2 of his last 3 games. He had 0 lost fumbles in 14 games prior to that. And now it's BC driving again. 2nd and 7 with 3:29 to play before we get to Kevin, Mark, and Booger in the studio. Jerkovic off the play action, extends the play, gets it complete to C.J. Lewis, and the big-bodied C.J. Lewis fighting for extra yardage before the defensive tackle Brzee cleaned things up.
You got to think 2 downs to get it here. 3rd and short, plus territory. Got to assume they're going to hand it to their big back. It doesn't appear as though David Bailey's in the game. Looks like it's going to be Levy. You got to think they're going to have 2 chances though, and of course, always be mindful of the quarterback sneak with how big Jerkovic is.
He's been very successful on quarterback keepers this year. 3rd down and 1. And that's exactly what he does, and he easily has the 1st down. He is a big, strong quarterback who time and again has been able to push the pile.
Yeah, he's really good at that. Like clockwork, that interior part of the offensive line surges as we see Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson. Jeff Hafley's got to be thrilled with how his offense has played throughout the course of this first 28 minutes of this game. They're starting to get the run game going a little bit, which will be huge, playing potentially with the lead in the second half.
The big back Bailey is now in, and he will get some work here, but he was met right away by Spector. And then Bailey trying to push ahead for extra yardage. Brent Venables, defensive coordinator, trying to slow down this BC offense. Bailey went ahead for 3 yards. Another timeout used by Clemson. We'll take a short break with 2:01 in the half. Greg, let me give you the Aflac trivia question. Back in 07, BC came down here. They beat Clemson. It was a roaring crowd. We only got 19,000 here today because of COVID restrictions. But back then we had a crowd that put forth a noise level of 132.8 decibels. What is equivalent to that level of sound? Now, the truck is going like all Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on you here. They're giving you multiple choice now for the Aflac trivia question.
Yeah, I would say E, our booth before the game, as we were rocking some REO Speedwagon and some Doobie Brothers, but that's not an available option. Like I used in school so many times when I have absolutely no idea, I just guess C. When in doubt, go C, right? So that's what I'm going to go with, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Why not?
Here's what BC is going with. The 13th play of the drive against the #1 team in the country, up by 11, 2nd and 7. Levy going to test that left side, and just a couple of yards there. Venables and the rest of the crowd in on the tackle.
Guys, I tried to answer the Aflac trivia question, but I didn't get to see the multiple choice. But I believe it's a jet engine. I've done a lot of decibel research through the years. I believe hearing death is at about 140 decibels, so that was pretty loud. Good job for that crowd back then.
We'll give you that answer in a moment. DJ looks on. His defense is on the field looking for a stop here on 3rd and 5. BC trying to add to their lead against #1 Clemson. Clemson has won 27 straight games against ACC opponents, 48 of their last 50. And a timeout is going to be used by BC. So that Aflac trivia question we told you about, the noise level back in 07 when these two teams played, we said 132.8 decibels. Holly said a jet engine. You said you want to rock some REO Speedwagon. The answer is, of course, Holly's
very
right.
good.
Holly's
Absolutely.
Right.
was right. I'm so proud of myself right now.
Without even seeing it, Holly, you were right. That's amazing.
That is the Aflac trivia question.
Yeah, a lot of decibel research over the years for me. And I want to say this crowd's been pretty loud here. About 19,000 fans here in the stands. And I have to say, they've been really loud for Clemson, but they got to get up right now because they need a big stop here, and I don't think the fans are helping them. Let's go.
Greg, what are you expecting here on 3rd and 5?
You know, if I'm Boston College, I'm already in field goal range. I expect very conservative. Maybe hand it off, nothing crazy, something very high percentage. Keep that clock rolling, force Clemson to call another timeout. And of course, if you drop back and try to get too aggressive, you could take a sack knocking you out of field goal range.
14th play of the drive. They do keep it on the ground with Bailey, and that big offensive line pushes him ahead for just a couple of yards. Clemson, the 1 timeout remaining, and they will exhaust that now.
I like that call from BC. I think that makes a lot of sense. Force Clemson to call their final timeout, and don't potentially run the risk of knocking yourself out of the opportunity for potentially stealing 3 here before the half.
Listen, this is an interesting week for Boston College being on the other side of all the breaking news, because this is a team with Jeff Hafley who, and he's come in, he's got these kids believing. They are a completely different offense. They're fun to watch. They have some playmakers. And then all of a sudden on Thursday night, they're sitting there and they find out you're not playing against the best player in the country at quarterback, so the confidence bubbles up even more.
Yeah, and if you really look at it, it's been more about Boston College's offense in this game. We can point to the mistake made by Clemson and the ball handling between DJ Uiagalelei and Travis Etienne that led to 7 points. It was really a 14-point swing, though, because they were on Boston College's 1-yard line. But for the most part, BC's offense has been in control. Great rhythm throwing the football, and now on this most recent drive, being able to get that run game a little bit going. So Brent Venables and that Clemson defense got to find some answers in the final 30 minutes.
So Aaron Boumeri on for the 40-yard field goal attempt. As they split out, Danny Dalton's a fake. Tessitore is under center on 4th and 2, and he got him to come off sides. John Tessitore came up and played quarterback at the last second, and they may get a first down out of this. How about that on 4th and 2? He has played every position growing up, from prep quarterback, receiver. He's pulled off multiple fakes.
Defense with contact. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
And he did it here. He split out the tight end, went under center, played quarterback, and drew Clemson offsides.
Wow, what a great call by Jeff Hafley. And I know you had to really grind on the week of prep to find out all the detailed history about
brother.
John Tessitore, your son. I know you're so proud of him, and what a huge play there from BC's field goal unit.
So here's BC now after the fake and the conversion, pulling them to the end zone. Wow! What a score! C.J. Lewis, bobbling, circus, and how about it? After faking the field goal to a quarterback, drawing him off sides, they do this.
What concentration. Oh my goodness.
C.J. Lewis, who has been just marvelous in recent weeks as a breakout offensive weapon, pulls that off. And what is happening here in Death Valley? Tessitore draws him off sides. Lewis makes the amazing catch. Couple kids who grew up 5 minutes away from each other.
Just an amazing 2-play sequence. I mean, absolutely amazing. Heads up play by Hafley. Great job by Tessitore executing that hard count to get Clemson's defense to jump. Fresh set of downs. And then, hey, since you're playing with house money, might as well take a shot downfield. One-on-one coverage. And Lewis reels it in. You see that right foot.
Unbelievable by C.J. Lewis.
Yeah, that right foot is in. I mean, you can see down, left's in, no problem. Right foot in, and then right there, just scooping it up, right up off the turf. This call will be confirmed. And Boston College cruising offensively with just a couple incredible plays.
After further review, the route on the field is confirmed.
Can you believe what we have happening here? And remember that big penalty that kept this drive alive. A 15-play drive, converting a fourth down with a penalty of drawing them off, and then this amazing catch by C.J. Lewis.
Just amazing. And it's all right here. I mean, Tessitore going to the line of scrimmage, a lot of urgency, and look at that head fake. I love the inflection of the hard count and how you can use it as Tessitore runs up, makes a huge play for his team. And then Jurkovec paying it off. How about Lewis? The concentration, just scooping it right up off the turf and making a huge play. Those are the plays you have to make when you're playing the #1 ranked team in the country, on the road, massive underdog. You gotta take advantage of the other team's mistakes. Right there, Tessitore's hard count led to a mistake by Clemson, and Jurkovec taking full advantage, giving them 6 more points, and officially 7 after the extra point, likely heading into halftime with a very comfortable lead.
How about that catch by Lewis? Kevin, Mark, and Booger will have the Capital One halftime report coming up in moments. I can only imagine what people are seeing around the country as this score flashes and they make their way over here to ABC and they're saying, the #1 team in the country. Hey, listen, I know who's not playing, but the rest of that roster is loaded with 5 stars, and you know how much is on the line here. The record streak, 35 straight regular season wins, 27 against ACC opponents, and that shiny, glossy #1 next to their name. Uyunglele, as he drives it to Powell, who gets a couple extra yards against Brandon Sebastian. No timeouts for Clemson. Clock counting down, 52-51. Can they come up with something before halftime? Trailing by 18 at home as he sails it over the head of Williams.
Yeah, off the mark there. He's missed 2 now, throwing out routes to his left. This is a huge drive for DJ Uyunglele to get some momentum. You referenced the fact that Clemson gets the ball at halftime, so you can go 2 for 1 here. So really important for them to put something together. If they don't get points, at least create some rhythm and momentum heading into the next 30 minutes.
Second down is being chased back. The big true freshman incomplete. That'll leave them with 3rd and 10 and 40 seconds. He was looking for Galloway. Uyunglele, 17 of 22, 192 yards and a touchdown. The problem hasn't been the true freshman quarterback filling in for Trevor Lawrence. It has been the Clemson defense trying to contain that guy, Jurkovec, and this fired up BC offense. Held Travis Etienne to 29 yards rushing as he tries to become a record setter today. 3rd and 10. Pressure. Complete. What an effort by Powell to go against the grain back to the outside. And let's see what Clemson can do with it here. A 1st down for the Tigers.
Clock it. There you go.
As he does.
Yeah, gotta clock it. The time is more important than the down.
Would be great for them to grab some momentum here after what just happened to them on that long drive by BC.
Uyunglele has been pretty impressive. Has missed a couple, but that's to be expected. Young kid making his first start. Settling in though, and sometimes when you're in a 2-minute situation, that's when you're just playing, not thinking, you're not trying to steer it, you're just playing. So might be at his best when working in rhythm with tempo here in a 2-minute drill.
Uyunglele, half a minute to work with here. Another strong completion to E.J. Williams. Fine looking true freshman. And now Clemson's in business, looking to strike. And he'll clock it again. That leaves 23 seconds before we get to the halftime report with Kevin and the guys.
This has already been a really nice response from Clemson's offense. Chunk yardage, starting to work the middle of the field. Going to have plenty of opportunities to push the ball down the field even further. I'm surprised too at just how soft the coverage has been from BC. Now you don't want to give up a big play, but how to disrupt the rhythm of the passing game.
Remember, no timeouts remaining. A-gap pressure. McDuffie coming after him. Picked up for the moment. Tried to get it out to Etienne, but it goes incomplete. 17 seconds remain in this outrageous first half we've been enjoying.
This is right here where Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator for Clemson, and Dabo Swinney, they need to remind their young quarterback here. We're right on the fringe of field goal range. You cannot, under any circumstances, take a sack because we can't stop the clock and we can't get knocked out. So the ball's got to come out and come out quickly here, because if you hold it and get sacked, we're in trouble and you take points off the board.
Safety pressure here against Uyangale. Incomplete. He was looking for E.J. Williams.
So now 3 throws to his left on out routes that have been way high and way inside. If I'm Boston College in the second half, I'm making note of that, and I'm going to give him that. I'm going to let him take that. I'm going to try to spin coverage the other side of the field and see if he can be more accurate throwing to his left.
B.T. Potter has a big leg. He has 4 career field goals over 50-plus yards. Clemson trailing by 18. Ohio State, Penn State coming your way tonight right here on ABC. A 7:30 kick for that. This would be a 50-yard attempt. By the way, Clemson hasn't trailed by 18 or more at the half since 2013. Let's show you how we got this. With BC up 28-10.
Yeah, Jurkovec has been fantastic. I mean, this was huge. I mean, the interception, but it was called back because of the roughing the passer. Boston College gets another chance. Then on 4th and short, John Tessitore going up, doing an amazing job with the hard count, and then cashing in on the deep ball to C.J. Lewis, who made a remarkable catch there off the turf.
First time. This gets right in. So a 50-yarder from B.T. Potter. He has been so impressive. That ties the Clemson record in terms of 50-yard field goals in a career. He has 5 of them now.
Just beautiful. Little draw right in there off the right upright. Just enough. 3 or 4 yards to spare. Great job from Clemson's offense to stop the bleeding. And then just, hey, calm down. We've got a lot of game left. Let's just take it one play at a time in this 2-minute drill and give our kicker a chance. They do. And he makes it good on them. Just excellent response so far there from Clemson in the 2-minute drill.
Makes it a 15-point game. BC was up 18 moments ago. That was the first time that an unranked team led the #1 team in the country by 18 or more in the second quarter since 2008. Clemson has never lost a regular season game when they've been the nation's #1 ranked team. 5 alive here with these 2 quarterbacks, DJ and Big Phil. And they've put on a show in this first half, haven't they?
Yeah.
Been a fun one to watch.
These guys combined are about 13 feet and 500 pounds.
That's right.
They are putting on a show so far. It's going to be so fun to watch these guys duke it out here in the second half of this outstanding football game.
Boston College leads the #1 team in the country 28-13. C.J. Lewis had that sensational 18-yard touchdown reception, and then Uyangale brought his team down the field and set up the Potter 50-yard field goal. As as number 1 is in a fight against the Soaring Eagles. Stay tuned for the Capital One halftime report after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
College football on ESPN presented by PlayStation 5 as you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Boston College leads the number 1 team in the country 28-13. Clemson trailed by as many as 18 points in the first half here today. Their largest home comeback was by 17 points back in 1966. Can they do it today? Pacific Life game summary looks this way.
Huge turn of events here. 14-point swing as Travis Etienne puts the ball on the deck, and Sebastian takes it 97 yards to the house. And then John Tessitore, the snap count, getting the false start, getting the movement up front from Clemson, fresh set of downs, and Jurkovic taking advantage by throwing a dime. A great catch by C.J. Lewis. Boston College took advantage of every mistake Clemson made, and big reason why they're in control here at the start of the third quarter.
Travis Etienne is back to return the kickoff here, and he does so from the 5. Etienne, the All-American running back, and a good return for Etienne. Holly.
Coach, we know who they are missing, and people will talk about that, but how has your team come out here and made the most of this opportunity?
Because it's not about them. This whole season's been about us, and it's complimentary football. It's our guys being fearless, our guys being confident, our guys believing and doing it for each other, and that's all we've talked about since we've got here, no matter who we're playing. Offense did a great job coming out, moving the ball. We got the one turnover. We got to get off the field on third down. We got to play better on third down.
All right, you had a very gutsy call on that 4th down opportunity. Tell me about Mr. John Tessitore with the successful play there.
Yeah, we've been kind of working that all year and saving it for today, and I wanted to be aggressive, told him we were going to be aggressive, tested an awesome job, getting him to jump off sides, and it led to a touchdown, so great job for Tess. I know his dad will be proud.
Second half focus.
Yeah, we got to get off the field on third down. We're getting to third and longs. We're not getting off the field offensively. Hold the ball, continue to get the clock and the chains going, play complimentary football, let it rip, and let's have fun. We're playing football today.
Thank you.
You got it.
Well, let's just say this. For right now, his dad is just a play-by-play broadcaster for the next few hours, calling number 98. And that attitude towards the end is exactly what you're seeing this upset-minded team. Just have fun. Play ball. Don't make it bigger than what it is, Greg.
Yeah, they put their shoes on one at a time, just like you. And they're playing loose. They're playing free. And they've capitalized on every opportunity they've been afforded so far this game.
2nd and 7 now. Uiagalelei. That ball's deflected and goes incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the true freshman quarterback who gets his first start today after the huge news on Thursday night that Trevor Lawrence had tested positive for COVID. Mild symptoms. I know Trevor is watching at his off-campus housing. We wish him the best. We hope he's feeling much better. He has been the face of the sport and such a leader in so many ways, and we can't wait to see him back. DJ has played well, 222 yards and a touchdown pass. 3rd and 7, they're 6 of 10 on 3rd down. Here is DJ, quick strike and in stride. Here's Powell, and just like that, Clemson is inside the BC 40-yard line.
Really good design there by Clemson's offense. Offensive players would call it a rub, defensive players would call it a pick, but either way, it's a great completion for another 3rd down conversion for Clemson.
Well, you can see how bright the future is with Uiagalelei as he comes back to Powell, who splits defenders and dives ahead to the 31-yard line. Good-looking opening drive now for Clemson here is 8 more yards for DJ in this passing attack. He's up to 244 yards passing.
And I like that they're going with a little tempo. Hey, let's kickstart the engine a little bit. Obviously, not in 2-minute mode. You're not concerned about the clock at this moment, naturally, even if you're behind considerably. But I like that it's getting a little rhythm in the passing game, picking up where they left off on that 2-minute drive at the end of half.
Dixon Trying to make something, but it's going to be a tackle for loss by Isaiah McDuffie. Isaiah McDuffie, who's got great speed, great pursuit, overcame an ACL tear back in 2018, and he leads the country in solo tackles. A loss of 2.
A big play right there, and you got to wonder here. So is it 4-down territory for Clemson? You're right on the fringe of field goal range. There is wind, and we know that Potter's got a big leg, but you might have 2 downs to get it. So I would expect Clemson to hand it off right here and see where you're at. Of course, anytime you hand it off to big number 9, Travis Etienne, that's a good thing for Clemson's offense.
He's only 11 yards away from becoming the ACC's all-time leading rusher. 3rd and 3, safety blitz. DJ's going to try to take it himself, and he's tripped up, and they're going to mark him just short of that line to gain, so it will be 4th down at the 30-yard line. Jamin Muse came all the way around to make that tackle.
I run a very similar play if I were Clemson right here, except I don't want it to be so slow developing. I want quarterback power. I want to hit it hard and hit it quick with my 250-pound quarterback. So that's a good short yardage option if they decide to go in that direction.
Uiagalelei on 4th and 1 with Etienne flanking him. Pulls and has a big chunk play and more. Touchdown, Tigers. What a great read on 4th and 1. And Big Dave is loving it. DJ Uiagalelei with the 30-yard touchdown run as Clemson mounts their comeback.
Just a zone read. You see the end man on the line of scrimmage crash, chase Etienne, and Uiagalelei is out the gate. As you see at 250, he could still move. Great play.
Just what they needed to open up this second half. A 7-play, 56-yard scoring drive. 30-yard touchdown run by the true freshman who steps in for Trevor Lawrence. We got a great one here that's now an 8-point margin. Dabo with the guy who everybody says is the future of the program. It's pretty easy to see. Uiagalelei moments ago with a 30-yard touchdown run. Jurkovec awaits his turn. It has been a shootout here between the upset-seeking Eagles and number 1 Clemson. Get to know DJ's name, folks.
He's going to be a good player.
My last name, you can start off by go Uiagalelei.
That's right. Uiagalelei, and there is Big Dave, his father, the 400-pounder who's been a celebrity bodyguard traveling the world, and his mom, Tasha, who everybody says, hey, you can talk about Big Dave and his athleticism. He's got mom's personality. He's calm and sweet and a great guy to be around. And now it's getting a little loud for 19,000 here in Death Valley as Jurkovec gets it complete to Galloway. Ball came out at the end. Is that a live ball? Xander's returning it, but the officials are all the way back at the 33 saying that Galloway was down, and that's where they will mark it, an 8-yard reception. This game's had a little of everything, hasn't it?
It's been wild, and you see, yeah, there's that elbow that's down before the ball pops out. It's close, and a heads-up play there defensively by Trenton Simpson, the freshman, swatting at the football.
2nd and 2. And I think they're going to take a look here to see the end of this play.
As the runner was down. The previous
We'll
play
take
is
a
under
quick
further
break
review.
while they review the play. The ruling on the field stands. It was an 8-yard reception for Galloway. MLS soccer comes your way Sunday, Eastern Conference matchup. Columbus and Philadelphia tomorrow, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. So it's 2nd and 2 as Boston College leads number 1 Clemson by 8. Joe Gregg and Holly with you here at Memorial Stadium, Death Valley. David Bailey will spin and have the first down for BC. Clemson cut it to 8. They trailed at halftime by 15. The 15-point halftime deficit, Greg, the largest halftime deficit for an AP #1 team at home since 1950. That was Notre Dame back in 1950. They trailed Purdue by 21. And here today, BC was up by 15 at the break. Now with the ball on a first down, up by 8. Jurkovec, a lot of time, and he can't connect with Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, who opened up the day with an 11-yard touchdown catch from Jurkovec.
And you can see, if you're just tuning in, this has been Boston College's plan. They just want to get Phil Jurkovec dropping back, surveying, and working his weapons on the perimeter. They feel like the path of least resistance against Clemson's defense is through the air. So Clemson's got to do one of two things. One, they got to do a better job man coverage. They got beaten man coverage on several different occasions in the first half. Or they got to pick it up from a pass rush standpoint. They've only got 1 sack on Jurkovec. He's been pretty nimble in the pocket.
2nd and 10. They bring 3 against Jurkovec. They chase him all the way back. He lost the ball, stumbled down, and then ended up back with the ball as a flag is down at the 30-yard line. What an odd scenario that time, as he lost his balance, lost the ball, rolled over the top of it. And now this official will have to clean things up here.
Holding, offense, number 23. The penalties decline, 3rd down.
Trenton Simpson thought he had a gift. The next thing you know, Phil Jurkovec rolls over and the ball ends up back in his arms.
Yeah, pretty amazing there by Jurkovec, somehow getting that ball back. And how about the play by Simpson? Almost stripping Galloway a couple plays ago, and that time making a huge play on the quarterback.
3rd and 28. Jurkovec is going to pitch to the outside to Flowers on a 3rd and 28, and they will be happy to just dodge a bullet here and punt it away as Jones was tracking there. And Clemson now will be getting the ball back halfway through this 3rd quarter in a 1-possession game. #1 team in the country with 35 straight regular season wins. Grant Carlson looking to flip the field. Amari Rogers, 9th in Clemson history in career punt returns. He's a dangerous one. Not a good punt by Carlson, but it takes a great BC bounce as it lingers down to the 36-yard line. DJ's back out there when we return to Death Valley. Don't go anywhere, folks. Beautiful Tillman Hall, home to the College of Education here at Clemson on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. They just want the scoreboard to look a little better. #1 team in the country is trailing by 8 at home. Been a long time since their last loss, whether at home to Pitt or against an ACC opponent to Syracuse. And now here trailing by 8 as they go with ETN. He was driven back. ETN still short of that mark that we thought perhaps he would already have gotten, maybe even in the first half, looking for the ACC all-time rushing record. He goes for 2 more yards there. He has 34 yards. He came in 43 yards away from becoming the all-time leading rusher in ACC history.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of containing him between the tackles. It's when he gets out as a receiver, that's when it's been a problem for BC's defense.
Uiagalelei on 2nd and 8. That big arm and in stride ETN. And look at him go for more. You know, Holly talked about it earlier today about wanting to be a more well-rounded total package as a receiver. He's proven it, Greg.
Yeah, and how about the throw, too? Uiagalelei and ETN. Great separation. Just mentioned, he's done most of his damage today through the air. I mean, very dynamic. A part of his game where he's probably most improved, so making another huge impact.
ETN done a really nice job against him in the run game. Holly.
Well, it bears repeating. We told you in the first half, but Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, really challenged Travis Etienne today. He knew without the soul of this team that they would need their heartbeat, and that is Travis Etienne. He may not be doing it on the ground, and I'm not sure if he needs to keep pounding the ball on this Boston College defense that's done a good job against the run, but man, is he doing it in the pass game.
Sure is. 2nd and 8. Uiagalelei to the end zone. Incomplete as it falls harmlessly just beyond the Boston College safety Deion Jones. Josh DeBerry had coverage against Amari Rogers.
This is a huge down here for Boston College's defense. So far, Clemson's been able to go up and down the field here in the second half, and of course, they struggled. They struggled there offensively, Boston College did, with the adjustments that Clemson made. So a huge down for the Eagles to potentially hold this Clemson offense to only 3 points. Kind of stop the bleeding here in the second half.
They're 58% on converting 3rd downs today. Uiagalelei on 3rd and 8, the slant. Powell, let's see will they mark him here, as he has been his favorite target today. He's going to be a ½ yard short of that line to gain. 7 yards on 3rd and 8. Powell has 10 receptions on 10 targets for 99 yards.
Last time it was a short yardage situation. They went with zone read, as you see Cornell Powell helping out his young quarterback. Zone read on 4th and short last time. Let's see what they go with this time.
4th down and 1. Number 1 trailing. Can he get there? Yes, the big-bodied DJ Uiagalelei at 6'4", 250 pounds. It's 1st and goal, Clemson.
I really like the misdirection there. Little counter. Fake the pitch to the right, then you get your big old 250-pound quarterback working back to the other side. Good job at taking advantage of short yardage.
To the end zone, touchdown Clemson, Amari Rogers. And this young freshman quarterback is putting on a show when they needed him to step up. He's over 300 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown on the ground.
Man, great job on the back shoulder. And you see Amari Rogers late hands, flipping his hips, and a perfect throw from the freshman quarterback. So it looks like Clemson going for 2 here.
Trying to tie the game. Clemson team that found themselves in a hole. They were trailing by as many as 18 points in the first half against this BC team. Now to tie it. DJ, pressure up the middle to the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for Spector, but it will remain a 2-point Boston College lead here in the 3rd quarter. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund, and we thank All-State for that. Been sensational stuff we've seen here, hasn't it, Greg?
It has, and this is a massive drive for Boston College's offense. Absolutely have to get something going. Your defense on their heels a little bit. Clemson clearly made some second half adjustments. Massive for Phil Jerkovic and this Boston College offense to come out, string a couple first downs together, and to get those playmakers on offense at wide receiver and tight end going yet again.
Let's check in with Kevin in the studio. Thank you, guys. So Phil Jerkovic Travis Levy and the Eagles offense back out on the field after Clemson had the 30-yard touchdown run and then the 8-yard touchdown catch by Rodgers to close the gap here. Levy trying to find something against the middle of that defense. Jake Venables, the son of the defensive coordinator Brent Venables, with the tackle. James Skalski, the starting middle linebacker, is out with a groin injury and he will need surgery. There is Jake. 3 times now he has started in place of Skalski for his dad. We're also missing Davis and Jones, starting defensive tackle, starting linebacker. 2nd and 7. Jurkovec. And he gets it complete as he finds C.J. Lewis. C.J. Lewis, who had a sensational 18-yard circus act of a touchdown catch to make it 28-10 in the second quarter.
What's up with him and just scooping it up off the ground? That one right there, too. I mean, a little bobble, but a good secure throw, a little off the mark from Jurkovec.
David Bailey is taken down by Spector. Spector just knifed into the backfield and took down big David Bailey.
A play by Spector. I mean, just recognizing right here, he's going to shoot right between the center and the right guard, make the play in the backfield. That's great recognition at the snap and making the tackle for loss.
Second and 12. Jurkovec. Complete downfield. C.J. Lewis again, but a flag is down back at the 26-yard line. You see the big arm of Big Phil. And they are walking this thing back.
This might be on both sides, too. There's one flag way to the right. There's another flag way to the left.
Coach Hafley trying to get the explanation.
And really hit the tight end hard as he was crossing the field. There was definitely a hold in the backfield. Looked like when Spencer Witter was trying to cross, though, he got collisioned. So
there are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Holding, number 73, that penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 81, 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It felt like Witter, the tight end, may have been clearing things out a bit. So now a big opportunity for this Clemson defense coming up.
Yeah, you'll see the hold right here. Right there, pretty clear as day, but confused on the pass interference. If anything, thought it might be on the defensive side of the football as Witter was trying to cross the field.
And now a 2nd and 27. Clemson with momentum here in this game. Their defense that gave way often in the first half has a chance to set them up. Venables in the middle of that defense. Big K.J. Henry, the defensive end, ready to get after them, and Spector, who just knifed in. 2nd and 27, Jurkovec. And coming back to it is Zay Flowers up near the original line of scrimmage, and another flag is down at the 22.
Holding, defense number 5, 10-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
And that is a killer, Greg. We just talked about it. K.J. Henry, listen, you got a team in a 2nd and 27. The opportunity to pin it back and get the ball back. And you serve it up by way of a penalty, a fresh set of downs of an unranked team who's been bubbling up with confidence, looking for a massive upset.
Yeah, you're going to see as they kind of come out of the backfield, Right there, Levy trying to come out of the backfield, and they just grab him as he's escaping.
Now Bailey is searching for anything, gets a couple of yards.
It's just a huge penalty, and Clemson has been their own worst enemy on a few different occasions. Right there, fresh set of downs on 2nd and 27. They fumbled at the 1 yard line going in. 1 yard line is being generous. It was more like the 6-inch line. And then, of course, they jumped off sides, which led to a touchdown for Boston College there at the end of the first half. So several mistakes, and Boston College to this point has been very opportunistic. Can that continue here in the second half?
Lewis in motion. Jurkovic deep drop and connects with Zay Flowers, another BC first down. They are willing to live and die with Bill Jurkovic. Remember, he counts for 79% of their offensive yardage, most by an ACC player in a decade and a half.
That was a beautiful throw, and the route by Flowers was exceptionally well run. Man coverage, you know, especially on the edges, you're going to get man coverage when you play against the Clemson Tigers. And so far, Zay Flowers and company, they have been up to the task, creating a lot of separation for their quarterback.
Jurkovic wants it all downfield and well overthrown beyond Zay Flowers. Glad you're with us for the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. It's part of college football on ESPN, presented by PlayStation 5. Coach Hafley's team up 2 points after they were up 18 points in the first half against the #1 team in the country, Clemson team that has won 35 straight regular season games. Joe Tessitore, Greg McElroy, Holly Rowe with you here. Travis Levy, as Levy keeps grinding away, churning those legs to the 41-yard line.
Really nice effort there at the end of that run, and this is a critical down and distance, obviously. 3rd down, but likely 2 downs to get it, Joe. With the way Clemson's offense has been moving the football, you might think about handing it off here or going for it on 4th down in this part of the field. So don't have to necessarily throw it here. You can, of course. If you get the opportunity to work your big tight end in one-on-one coverage, that might be the direction I would look if I were Phil Jurkovic, and he's lined up at the top of the screen.
Oh, motion on the right side. That was Tyler Vrabel who came out of his stance. Saw the movement there.
Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
He was one of the most impressive freshman offensive linemen in the country last year, paving the way for A.J. Dillon, who now plays for the Packers, of course, the son of the Tennessee Titans head coach and Patriots legend Mike Vrabel.
It's going to be really interesting to see what Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson, dials up here. Do you pressure the big body quarterback, leave your guys on islands, or do you play it a little bit more safe and rally to the football?
3rd down and 8. Big play, big opportunity for the Clemson defense. Jurkovic threw it low and in front of Hunter Long. 4th down.
Venables opting for pressure right there, forcing the ball out of Jurkovic's hands a little bit earlier than he was wanting to. Good job by Clemson's defense, stopping what was a somewhat promising drive. And a huge penalty by Vrabel on 3rd and short.
Carlson looking to pin Clemson here inside the 10. Takes a bounce. Oh, and they did it. What a special teams play by BC, and Grant Carlson's punt goes to the 1-yard line. Clemson is pinned now. Excellent job by Grant Carlson, the graduate student punter.
Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack. Delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Only at Taco Bell.
Flag is down here. Late flag came in.
Illegal shift. Kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
What a costly penalty for Boston College. Eliminating a perfectly placed and rolled 44-yard punt by Carlson.
They tried to go with a quick snap, and they weren't set up. Their wing, their gunner on the left-hand side wasn't aligned. You see him just move out real quick as they snap the football. He doesn't set for a second. And the correct call by the officials.
The little things, Greg, the little things. Let's see if Carlson can find himself with an encore performance. And he does! Back to back inside the 5 by Carlson. Masterful work. And are you kidding me? Is there another penalty here?
Holding, kicking team, number 14. 10-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
That'll drive a coach crazy. Coach Hafley watches his punter pull it off perfectly, only to be walked back again.
And looked like they almost, by the way. But it was right there. It was right in the middle of the screen. He kind of threw a Clemson player to the ground. Right there. There's the call.
Now here's the thing. The shield is waiting on that guy. It's completely unnecessary. So now Carlson's back out there. And now Rodgers may have a chance at a return as Carlson drives it to the 15. And what a difference as a flag comes in at the 20. We got a lot of laundry all over the place, don't we? This may be on the return against Clemson.
Doing the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team, number 38. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Clemson.
You see right here, pretty clear. The Boston College player gets pushed in the back, and really an unnecessary penalty. Frankly, Rodgers is going to make the first guy miss. Just cooler heads have to prevail. Few really uncharacteristic mistakes by both these teams here in the latter part of the 3rd quarter.
Uiagalelei has been so impressive, hasn't he? Filling in for Trevor Lawrence. ETN is closing in on a record here. DJ, quick strike to the outside again to Amari Rodgers. Final half minute of this 3rd quarter that has seen Clemson roar back after they trailed by 18. They had the field goal at the half to cut it to 15. Largest home deficit at 15 points that a number 1 ranked team has had at home going back to 1950. Pitch to ETN. And is this history for ETN? Travis Etienne, who has been just amazing throughout his Clemson career, is now the all-time leading rusher in ACC history. Take a bow, young man. And these fans just loving on him. Steady like a rock in every way. An incredibly modest, low maintenance, and still the same small-town Louisiana kid he's always been. Well done as we end the 3rd quarter, where Clemson has closed it to 2. Number 1 team in the country will be in the 4th quarter trailing at home. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Start of the 4th quarter, number 1 team in the country trailing at home. Uiagalelei taken down that time was Etienne. Travis Etienne, who moments ago on this run right here became the ACC's all-time leading rusher, passing Ted Brown from NC State back in the 70s. Ball is on the ground and DJ just falls on it. So it'll be a 3rd and 8. You know, you sit there in the same backfield with the great Trevor Lawrence, and maybe you don't get as much attention, but think about what he has now accomplished.
And I have not been doing this that long. It's year 6 in the profession. So he is the most underappreciated player, an all-time great, and he's constantly overshadowed. I'm so glad that he's had that moment and will forever be remembered in the hearts of Clemson fans for what he's done for this program.
3rd down and 12 now. And let's see where they mark this completion here to Rodgers, as that line to gain, he may be just about a half a foot short. Look at that spot.
Big decision here.
They needed 12 yards. They got about 11 3/4.
I like going for it too. Trust your offensive line. You got some veteran guys up there. You got a big 250-pound quarterback. I'm running quarterback power right now.
From their own 45 and a half. 4th and as short as could be. And it's going to be a 1st down for the Tigers, as Etienne will move those chains. This Clemson team that has won a school record 26 consecutive home games. You know, you think about it, Greg, between the scholarship players and the walk-ons, there's 120 players that put on that beautiful orange jersey. 111 of them have never experienced a home loss. Trailing by 2 here in the 4th quarter to Boston College. A throwback to Spector, but BC defensively was right on top of it that time. You saw Max Roberts, and Roberts is going to deal with an injury here as the training staff comes out. And take a short break as they get to Roberts. Don't go anywhere. More to come from Death Valley. All-State playoff predictor. Of course, Clemson predictably has been in the playoffs most years. They've made it to 5 straight college football playoffs. See how this unfolds. But the biggest impact games down the road.
Yeah, number 1, no doubt, Clemson at Notre Dame just 7 days from now. Of course, tonight's game, Ohio State and Penn State.
Here's Etienne as he wiggles his way and then hits the accelerator inside the 40-yard line. A flag is down back at the 45.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 55, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Isaiah McDuffie plays fast and violent and always attacking.
Yeah, that was way late too, completely unnecessary from McDuffie. He's played a pretty good game today for the most part, especially as far as stopping the run, but right there, free 15 yards on the stupid penalty is a really bad decision.
Here's the one mark that BC doesn't want to see. They've had 11 penalties today. Got to clean that up. Have to be able to play clean football.
You just can't give a great team extra chances. You can't give them free yards. Got to make them earn every inch.
Looking for an all-time upset and to give away free yards. 1st down, quick pass to the outside. Powell, he's been a big part of Clemson's offense today. His 11th catch of the day. He's over 100 yards. Ohio State, Penn State coming your way tonight. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, right here on ABC. 2nd and 4. Clemson looking to take the lead, and Etienne will do it. Travis Etienne, record breaker, and surging with this comeback. From down 18 to taking the lead in the 4th quarter. 17-yard touchdown run by Etienne.
And have to hustle here as the shot clock's already at 6. They're not even lined up yet.
And they're going to utilize a timeout as they had a bit of a communication issue. Do you want to go for 2, not go for 2? What the situation is, 4-point margin, looking to make it 6. 11.5 minutes to play. Clemson has roared back in this second half.
Let's go back and take a look at that touchdown. Just beautiful job, double teams up front. I mean, just really, really well done. And Etienne just right through it. Offensive line securing those double teams, and boom, Etienne hits his head on the goalpost. This is the parting of the Red Sea right there, and Etienne showing that top-end speed. Just an amazing answer so far here in the first 19 minutes of the second half. Clemson could look in the mirror at halftime saying, we've made so many mistakes, but there's so many things wrong in the first half. We got to clean things up. And have they ever here in the first 19 minutes? Great response from their entire team, both offensively and defensively, and especially Travis Etienne, who's been a huge part of their success.
False start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still play to try.
Uiagalelei, the quarterback, a true freshman in for Trevor Lawrence, who had a COVID positive test that was announced to the world on Thursday. He's gone for 342 yards, a couple touchdown passes, a touchdown run. But here in this fourth quarter, you lean on old reliable, don't you? Travis Etienne, who sets the ACC all-time mark, career rushing yards, and then adds that go-ahead touchdown there moments ago, and now going for 2. Zero's up on that clock.
Clemson,
And
their
Clemson
second.
will use a timeout.
30-second timeout.
So they exhaust 2 timeouts in this span. And there's still a lot of ball to play, Greg.
I mean, you spend that second time out, and then looks like they're sending their kicker on. So, and if you're going to kick it, just take the 5-yard penalty for delay of game. I'd rather have the timeout in my hip pocket, close game. 11.5 minutes left. This is a chip shot. Whether you back it up 5 more or not. Not really sure what the decision was there for Dabo.
So BT Potter comes on. Remember, Potter had a 50-yard field goal earlier today. And this is off the upright. So it's no good. It stays a 4-point game. One of the most reliable kickers in football, who coming into today had never missed a PAT. He had never missed one. Doink.
College football on ABC is presented by PlayStation 5. Play has no limits. And in part by Pacific Life, more than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow.
Travis Etienne, his 6th career game with a rushing and receiving touchdown. And with that 17-yard touchdown run, Clemson takes the lead over Boston College. They trailed, number 1 team in the country, trailed by 18. All right, Greg, let's look at our Pacific Life game summary from this wild one that has seen Clemson now scoring their last 5 possessions in a row.
It's been wild. It has had absolutely everything as we look at what DJ Uiagalelei, just 65 yards away, by the way, from passing Trevor Lawrence's career high. And Phil Jurkovec, after an excellent first half of football, has really cooled off as Clemson's pressure and pass rush started to get home with a little more consistency. So BC needs their big quarterback to make some plays here. Their offense hasn't done much in the second half.
Jurkovic, deep drop, winds it up, downfield, wide open was Zay Flowers, just a nudge too much as Flowers had some separation. He can burn it up.
Man, what a missed opportunity. It was so close. Little out and up, great route by Flowers, showing his eyes, tons of room, 4 or 5 yards of separation against Kendrick, and the ball just slightly overthrown. That's one that Jurkovic is going to want to have back. That's the stuff that keeps you up at night. Big missed opportunity for BC's offense.
Setting up the screen, it was denied, batted down. Jake Venables was right in the face of Jurkovic.
It's obviously not a gotta-have-it situation yet, but man, it's close. Good play, heads-up play by Venables going airborne, tipping that pass. This is a massive play for BC's offense. Zay Flowers has been their guy today. The tight end Hunter Long has been quiet. See if they look in direction of Zay Flowers, number 4, who's their most explosive weapon at wide receiver.
Second half, third down conversion's been brutal. Haven't had one. 3rd and 10. Jurkovic, incomplete. He was looking for Hunter Long. There's no tight end in college football with more catches coming into the week than Hunter Long, and yet this Clemson defense has been able to quiet him. Hunter Long only with 1 catch. That is the 3rd 3-and-out for Boston College. Amari Rogers will be on the return of this Grant Carlson punt. Good pursuit, as there was a scurry for the ball at the end there. Rogers able to secure it. Just over 11 minutes to play. Been a long time since Hafley's team has scored. 32-28, number 1 on top.
Pretty crazy moment there on Amari Rogers' punt return as the ball is out. I mean, the ball is stripped, and there are 3 Boston College players around it. Somehow Amari Rogers is able to just secure it, eliminating what was almost a catastrophic mistake.
Uiagalelei on first down, Barlow chasing him, and he throws it away. You know, you think about how close these moments are to where it could go one way or the other. Moments ago, Zay Flowers had separation. Jurkovic just overthrows it. Moments ago, the ball's on the ground. 3 BC players are around it. Clemson recovers, and now 11 minutes to go, and you give the ball back to ETN, and the number 1 team looking to close out a home win in an epic comeback, trailed by 18. Our largest home comeback going back in history was 17 back in 1966. There's DJ, plenty of time, but throws it high into the outside. He was looking again for Powell, so it'll be 3rd and 10.
A little surprised by these play calls from Clemson, these first and second down. I mean, 2 throws when ETN finally, for the first time in the game, starting to get hot. He was at one point averaging about 2.5 yards a carry. Now he's up to 4.5 because of a couple big plays. So surprised that they would put it in the hands of the true freshman Uiagalelei and throw it on 1st and 2nd down.
You see some pointing at the left tackle there, Jackson Carman.
False start. Offense number 79. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
This is a play right here, 3rd and long. I just want to run a screen to ETN. Just give me a screen to ETN. It's my best player. Maybe he makes a guy miss. But either way, your defense is playing great. I love the idea of getting ETN a touch in the passing game here off a screen with maybe a couple blockers out in front.
19 total penalties in this game. Uiagalelei is going to run it himself. And he's going to be taken down at the 31-yard line. So Clemson will be punting away as the clock ticks down. You see Tem Lukabu, one of the rising stars in college football, the young defensive coordinator for Boston College.
It was a big 3 and out for Boston College defensively. They had not had an answer for what Clemson was doing on offense throughout most of the second half. That was huge to get off the field right there.
Will Spires on to punt. Rugby style, end over end. And Gill will let it take a tremendous roll for the Tigers all the way inside the 10-yard line. Phil the Thrill, they like to say. Will he thrill BC fans when we return? Thank you very much. Joe, Greg, and Holly here. 10:06 to play. Just a 4-point game between #1 Clemson and Boston College. Travis Levy, good run to get things going here out to the 16-yard line. Clemson has never lost a regular season game as the #1 ranked team in the country. Never lost as #1. They trailed by 18 to BC today. Second and 3. This is Bailey, and Bailey will have a first down for Boston College.
Really, we have not seen Boston College stay committed to the run. It's really, for the most part, been about Phil Jurkovec and this talented group of wide receivers. But if you look at how that production has diminished over the course of 4 quarters, certainly dropped off. They need him to come up big here in the final 9 minutes. Find some opportunities to get some of those talented receivers in space, particularly Zay Flowers, #4, who's in the slot at the top. He's their most explosive weapon.
They just missed on a home run ball a few minutes ago. And now he goes to his big tight end this time, Hunter Long. Hunter Long at times has been this crutch to lean on for Jurkovec. Earlier in the season, there was a game we did against North Carolina that came down to the wire as well, where he had 17 targets.
I like what they did, though, there. Get the ball out of Jurkovec's hands quickly, because Clemson, these last few drives, have really started to ramp up the pressure. The blitzes are coming. Get the ball out of your quarterback's hand.
Here's Levy on 2nd and 4, and it'll be another first down for the Eagles. So little by little, the run game, the short passing game, and they're trying to string things together. Coach Jeff Hafley, here #1. A year ago, he was the next big thing buzz coordinator in the sport when he was with Ohio State going up against Coach Sweeney and Clemson. And now he's the skyrocketing head coach at BC with a lot of recruiting momentum and a turnaround of attitude and productivity with the Eagles. First down. Jurkovec taken down. That was Xavier Thomas bringing down Jurkovec. Big play for the Tigers.
Huge play there, too, because look, they're only going to rush 3 guys. And if you look at the heavy cell play action, there's 7 guys in the protection. 3-man rush against the 7-man protection, and it ends up in a sack. Can't happen if you're BC's offense, but a great job there by Thomas making the play on the quarterback.
6th Clemson tackle for loss, and a 2nd and 14 hole now for BC. Under 7 minutes to play. Down by 4 to #1. Intercepted by Spector. Balin Spector with the pickoff. Flag is down. It's all
Personal
the way
foul,
back.
roughing the passer. Defense, number 3. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
A roughing the passer on Thomas. Wow.
Oh my goodness. And that should be targeting. I mean, that's launch. Head or neck area of a defenseless player. That's targeting. What is he doing? Now for targeting, there has to be an indicator. And that's an indicator.
That is beyond an indicator. Let's bring in our rules expert, John Perry. John, what's your read here?
Well, you guys nailed it. I mean, roughing the passer for sure, but man, lower the head, lead with the crown, definitely an indicator which they'll take a look at.
Previous play is under further review.
Potentially ending this young man's day.
John, go through that checklist for folks, just for clarity, because I know some people see things, and obviously, I mean, but that checklist that you talk about there, please, when it comes to targeting.
You know, the referee, he's just to the right of this quarterback, and as soon as there's imminent pressure by the left defensive end, he is going to that body to look at the posture. He'll pick up the launch, and he will definitely pick up this lower the head to initiate contact, which is one of the indicators.
And a lot of people think that targeting is only helmet to helmet. It's not. It's forcible contact to the head or neck area. And when they put the indicator in, the indicator is a launch or an upward thrust. That right there is the definition of a launch and an upward thrust to the head or neck area of a defenseless quarterback in a throwing motion. Just a penalty there by Thomas. You just absolutely, it can't happen. Just cannot.
And look at what's at the other end of that. An interception by Spector that is wiped out.
Yeah, it's 2 now. 2 roughing the passers that have wiped out interceptions for Clemson. This one's just a loss.
After further review, targeting defense number 3, 15-yard penalty. Number 3 is disqualified.
Which means that Xavier Thomas will miss the first half of next week's game against Notre Dame. John, you feel they got that one right and it was an easy one to read.
I do. You know, the first one earlier in the game with the change of the possession, I thought that you did talk about correctly. I didn't like it. It was a big change of possession that I thought should have stood. This one is exactly what we're trying to get out of the game of football, which is lowering the head to initiate contact anywhere.
That is our 3-time Super Bowl official, John Perry, our rules expert here. So a first down for BC, wipes out the interception with the penalty as Travis Levy wiggles his way free out to the 47. So coming up on 6 minutes to play, and BC only trailing by 4 against the #1 team in the country. The team that has won a school record 26 consecutive home games, 35 straight regular season games won by Clemson. 2nd and 6. Clock continues to count down.
Like Boston College in an illegal formation right here.
Bailey. Pad leverage will take him right to midfield.
Right there, the Z receiver at the top, Zay Flowers, was lined up on the line of scrimmage, covering up Spencer Witter, who's the tight end on the end of the line of scrimmage. So had they thrown it, that would have been a penalty.
He wouldn't have been an eligible receiver.
He would have been eligible. Correct.
We only are allowing 19,000 here with the COVID restrictions, but they're getting loud for a 3rd and 3. Coming up on 5 minutes to play as #1 tries to get themselves to 7-0. They were down by 18. 3rd and 3, Jurkovic. Upended and cut down by Andrew Booth. And now a 4th down for Boston College.
And Jurkovic's down.
And that is Jurkovic, who is slow to get up as Coach Hafley runs all the way over to check on his quarterback. And Phil does get up on his feet, walks it off.
So glad to see that. He's had a heck of a year, and With him now coming out of the game, what they call a timeout. Here, let's see. Lands hard on the football there.
And he's going to jog off the field. Dennis Grossell from Ohio, who played at St. Ignatius and started 7 games last year, played in all 13 games, originally a walk-on, then earned a scholarship, knows the offense very well, doesn't have the physical skill of Jurkovec, and he enters the game against the #1 team in the country on 4th and 3 with 4.5 minutes to play. Grossell in at quarterback. Levy, the running back, who's now going to motion back and flank him. What a spot to enter the game. Grossell on 4th and 3, and he gets it complete. Hunter Long just past the sticks, and Big Phil will trot back out there as there's still some magic alive with these Eagles.
How about Grossell? Hey, go in there, Cole, young man, no problem, and then throw it with perfect accuracy and location away from the defender. That's NFL accuracy. I mean, my goodness. And Phil Jurkovec loving what he sees from his backup. What a throw.
This is what a team effort is. Bailey. Now Bailey's got a little bit of space. They say the ball came out at the end there. And no. BC with the run there. Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week. Is it ever? As you're watching the ACC on ESPN, it has been a thriller all day long as BC exploded offensively early. They were up 28-10. And then Clemson roared back. ETN setting the all-time record. The go-ahead touchdown. And now here's BC with just over 3 minutes to play. Levy tackled for a loss. That was Booth again. Andrew Booth. They are so deep and talented at cornerback, and Booth is showing it here. Clock counts down under 3 minutes. #1 trying to survive the upset-seeking Eagles.
Remember here, obvious 4-down territory with the amount of time remaining. You don't have to have all of it right now. Expect Clemson play pretty aggressively, make sure they tackle right at the sticks.
3rd down and 9. Jurkovec back in after he was upended and had to walk off. Jurkovec downfield, and there was some contact. It's incomplete, no flag. As time and again, he has been looking for Zay Flowers, and you see the juice with Andrew Booth. He is psyched up. He has been playing some feisty defense. And now it'll be a 4th down and 9. BC trying to push Clemson right to the limit. 12th play of this drive coming up. Here it is. So much on the line. Can the Eagles shake up the college football world?
Ready for pressure from Clemson's defense.
Here it comes. And the whistles blow just before the snap as Coach Hafley wants to use a timeout. And with that, we will check in with Kevin in the studio. Hey, tonight at 8 Eastern is the 125th meeting of the Tar Heels and UVA on the ACC Network. If you don't have the ACC Network, go to ACCN.com for instant access. We had the running of the hill for the 414th time today. Howard's Rock debuted on September 24th of 1966. Clemson, there it is, They trailed UVA by 17 points that day back in '66. They came back and won. Today they trailed BC by 18. Now they got the lead. Does BC have it in them to convert a 4th and 9? Jurkovic. Gotta have it. Downfield, nowhere near the intended target, Zay Flowers. And Clemson will take over with 2:21 to play. Incomplete on 4th and 9.
Jurkovic, the last 2 throws on 3rd and long and 4th and long, you saw the adrenaline. I mean, you really did. The ball thrown way too far on both 3rd and 4th down. That's something, he's a young player. He's got to learn how to handle the moment right there, knowing you're going to be a little juiced up. The ball's going to fly a little further. And now his defense is on the field with a couple timeouts, so they will have a chance in a 3 and out to get the ball back, but it'll likely be with really poor field position.
And the great Travis Etienne will look to carry his team to victory here and chew up that clock as BC has 2 timeouts to utilize. And they will use one here. There's no doubt about it. You said it, the adrenaline on those last couple throws. This has been a battle. Holly.
Well, guys, they have a saying around here called best is the standard. And I can tell you from how Dabo's been interacting with his team on the sidelines today, particularly offense, he's not pleased with how this has gone. They had the very botched 2-point attempt tries. They've had a lot of mistakes, some penalties that cut out key interceptions. And I can tell Dabo is on his team. Better attention to the details, better focus with this 4-point lead. Something they will definitely have to clean up if they hang on for a win today, next week at Notre Dame.
Yeah, and you see Dabo, Holly, in the huddle with the number 1 up, saying 1 first down. That's all I need. He was looking right at the offensive line in the process of doing it. So you know where this ball's going. Challenging those big fellas up front. See if they can't pick up the first down.
Etienne trying to keep those legs moving ahead. This will be 3rd and about a long 1 that time. Hughes with the tackle there. 3 more yards for the record-setting Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne has 140 yards receiving, a receiving touchdown, has 84 on the ground, a rushing touchdown. That was the go-ahead touchdown with 11.5 minutes to play.
If I'm Dabo Swinney right now, as I bring those guys over for the last chance to visit with them before they go out there on 3rd and 1, I'm saying, hey, guess what, guys? We're going for it on 4th down. I trust my defense. We're going for it. So you guys have 2 chances to get it. The offensive line, hold up, secure the initial surge along the line of scrimmage. And I'm going to let Travis Etienne, the ACC's all-time leading rusher, and pound for pound the best running back in America, I'm going to give him 2 opportunities to put this game on ice.
Third down and 1. BC out of timeouts. And Etienne did not get there. The BC defense stacked him up. TJ Ram and the rest of the middle of that defensive line, and Isaiah McDuffie, playing linebacker, came in and put up a wall against Etienne.
Great job there along the line of scrimmage from Boston College.
That was actually a somewhat generous spot of the football there, but initial look, he was short. Now they're going to bring out the chains. You can see that unofficial yellow line has him short. And they'll stretch it out, and indeed it is 4th down.
I'd go for it. I know conservative football, people say, no, kick it, pin them deep. What are the chances of them going the length of the field? But man, so many problems happen when you punt. And the possibility of a drop snap or something like that, if I can win it with my offense on the field, and knowing how talented this offense is, I like that possibility if I'm Dabo. Looks like he doesn't agree with me, though.
The punt team is going on the field on 4th and 1. Phil Jurkovic may have a chance for redemption here. So Dabo chooses to punt. And it's a great one. And I mean a great one by Spires. Inside the 5. So no timeouts in 1:24 to go for BC. And they need 96 yards to accomplish the ultimate task.
Beautiful job right there by Spires, given the opportunity, the rugby punt, the corner. Just perfect execution there from the punter and the punt team. Now, Phil Jurkovic back against the wall with the band about 20 yards behind him. Make sure he's good with his communication. That's probably the loudest part of the field.
From his own end zone against Clemson. That was all kinds of ugly. Flags are everywhere. May have a safety here. Ball came loose out of the hands of Jurkovic. As the ACC officials will clean it up. Brian Brzee was so disruptive.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Illegal touching. Offense number 70. That penalty is declined. Intentional grounding. Offense number 5. The foul occurred in the end zone. Result of the play is a safety.
We do have a safety. The defense for Clemson got after him.
Yeah, Jurkovic just leaving the pocket. It's a 3-man rush. There's nowhere to go. You don't have to leave at that point. But how about the freshman? Brzee making the play. Of course, Xavier Thomas not available, out for targeting. They've had to rely so heavily on these freshmen, and Brzee gets home and forces the safety. Excellent job by Clemson along the front, getting home several times in the last few drives with only a 3-man rush along the defensive line.
One of the biggest recruits in recent years, Brzee. He is a monster in the middle of that defensive line. They have so much young 5-star talent. They were taken to the limit today from this BC team. A BC team who hadn't played the #1 team in the country since 2014, and they were seemingly unaffected. They were going out there and throwing the ball around, and then Clemson roared back in the second half.
This actually might not work out horribly, though, because now you potentially, if you're BC, have better field position and still only a touchdown game. Looks like BC is about to attempt the onside kick.
Now the ACC officials are asking for our truck to give them another review of the play that we just saw in the end zone that was ruled a safety.
I don't know are they trying to say that number 23 Levy's in the area? I'm just having a difficult time understanding exactly what it is that.
Well, John Perry, our rules expert, let's get to you here, because I know the illegal touching was Zion Johnson, but what's the point once we go with the safety, John?
You know, I think he's taking a look at the hand. Is it clearly a pass to confirm that it is a pass to create the intentional grounding in the end zone, which would by rule be a safety?
Review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Well, the bottom line is that the safety's in the books now.
like what John was saying, maybe they were looking to see if it was a fumble, was the ball
Exactly.
arm moving forward. Yeah, you could see it there. Really good look at it.
Nice camera work there. Confirms pass, confirms intentional grounding in the end zone. Everything's good there.
Now Stephen Ruiz, who is the redshirt sophomore backup kicker, is coming into the game. They have utilized Ruiz in onside situations. One of great controversy at the end of the North Carolina game when it looked like BC had a clear recovery of an onside kick. Here's the bounce. Ball is being fought for. And they're going to have to undo a lot of humanity, but they say Clemson ball. That'll put things away. Minute 17. And Clemson coming away with the football. Man, oh man, Greg, did this game have everything?
It had it all. I mean, missed extra points, confusing sequences with timeouts, a true freshman in for the Heisman frontrunner, DJ Uiagalelei has played remarkably well for a true freshman in his first start, throwing for nearly 350. We had it all, Joe, and Clemson survived what was an excellent test in Boston College.
It is going to be fascinating in the coming years to see where this BC program goes, because they are very, very different, aren't they?
It's an exciting group to watch. Just couldn't be happier for their team, and Coach Hafley's got to be thrilled, obviously not with the result, but with the effort. They gave it all they had, and obviously Clemson absorbed that punch and fought back valiantly in the second half.
And now they've got to be willing to punch up in South Bend, Indiana. Next week, it is at Notre Dame.
What a game that's going to be. So we know Notre Dame about to be in action here momentarily. I can't wait for that one. Good against good when it comes to Notre Dame and Clemson.
There's Big Dave. Big Dave's going to celebrate. Hey, Dave, your son, not so little DJ, was a star today, wasn't he? 342 yards, 2 touchdown passes, had the touchdown run. Travis Etienne went for 140 receiving, 84 running, and a couple of touchdowns. Great fight between BC and Clemson, right to the final moments. And number 1 survives. They move to 7-0. Largest comeback by Clemson in Death Valley. So glad you were with us to enjoy it. For Holly Rowe and Greg McElroy and our entire crew, I'm Joe Tessitore. Enjoy the rest of your day, including Notre Dame and Georgia Tech, coming up after this message and a word from our ABC stations.